East Stroudsburg University men's basketball head coach Jeff Wilson and coaches the Warriors come off their first loss in almost 2 months, 87-77 at Shippensburg on Saturday. Just kind of give us where this puts your program at this point. Obviously, you're 20-3 overall, 17-2 in the conference.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Shippensburg played very well. Anytime you go on the road, you're going to get somebody's best effort, and I thought Shippensburg played very hard. They're in a hunt for a playoff spot, and actually a home playoff spot, depending on how they finish the year. So my hat's off to them. I thought they outplayed us, to be very honest with you, on Saturday afternoon. We're still in very good position, obviously, for the playoffs. We've already clinched a playoff spot. We've clinched a bye at this point to begin the playoffs, so we won't play that first weekend, which is a good position to be in. Hopefully it will let us rest up a little bit and get healthy. We are a little bit banged up, but at this time of year, I think most teams in the country can say that.
Sometimes, especially when you're at the end of a lengthy winning streak, a loss kind of puts that in perspective. Does that kind of show how difficult it is to win 14 straight games in this conference?
Yeah, I mean, if you were to say to me at the beginning of the year, you're going to win 14 straight games, I'll say put it in the books and we'll move on from there. So obviously when you lose, you're disappointed, and there's some things I think we can learn from coming out of this loss and hopefully make us a better team going forward.
Coming out of the last one, the loss to Lock Haven, obviously you guys were able to put some things together at that point. Saturday at Shippensburg, two of the things you've done really well this year, you turn people over and don't turn it over a lot, and you were plus 11 in turnovers. But you've also shot the three-point shot extremely well, and you're only 3 of 14. So those two kind of things balance out on Saturday.
Yeah, we're a little out of character. Wis Grant did not play, who has led us in scoring and in a lot of those statistical categories that you talked about. He's been our best three-point shooter. He's been one of our best ball handlers. So when you take a guy out of the lineup at the end of it going into the game, you need guys to step up and play more of an accentuated role. And to be honest with you, on Saturday we didn't have enough guys step up. So, but when you look at that, those two categories, defensively, I thought we were more out of character than any place. I didn't think we had the aggressiveness that we've had in some games leading up to the Shippensburg game. I didn't think our reactions were as good. And then when we got behind, I thought that we tried to do some things individually rather than playing with the team. So things that we got to get back to today in practice.
This week you're at Millersville on Wednesday night. Then you've got Westchester at home on Saturday. Obviously, you still have a 2-game lead in the East with 3 games left. But both these games really loom large and really have been for the last few weeks.
Yeah, and I think we have 3 very good opponents to end the season, which I hope will help us. When you have to play some really tough teams coming into the playoffs, that means you're going to get a little bit more battle tested. You're going to find out what people are taking advantage of, and as you enter the playoffs, you want to be playing at a high level. So we probably won't have Wis for Wednesday. He's to be determined as the week goes on. So we have to have some guys step up and get some guys in some roles that they haven't maybe been playing quite as many minutes. But at this time of the year, it's about trying to peak going into the playoffs. And I think these next 3 opponents will challenge us to the point where, we're going to find out what game plans are out there for us, and hopefully we can mount a good game plan coming in.
As you mentioned, you played Saturday without Wis. A couple weeks before that, you played without Dwayne in the Westchester game. That game was tied with 3 minutes left or so. And you ended up winning by 10. But how does that kind of change Saturday's matchup with having Dwayne?
Well, we'll find out if we have Wis.
Yeah.
It might be just exchanging a player out, but Westchester had people out too. That Carl Johnson was out for them, and they, like I said, we've had people out this year, and we've rallied around it. I didn't think we did as good a job of that on Saturday. So it is what it is. The schedule is what it is. Nobody feels sorry for you. You go out and you play, and somebody else has to step up and make plays and be solid and defend and rebound. And if we get some guys that can step into those roles and do those things, not one guy's going to absorb what Wis does for us from an offensive standpoint. You just got to be better in all the other phases of the game.
And one of the things that maybe was lost last week, especially Wednesday with the win over Mansfield and tying the winning streak at 14, is that you did secure one of the top 2 seeds in the East. You had mentioned the first round bye, but again, just kind of how difficult it was last year to win 3 straight games in the tournament. Now a team potentially is going to have to come out and win 4. So you guys put yourself in a good position there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. This is the first year of this format. They went from 4 teams to 6, so the top 2 teams in each division get byes. Nobody really knows what that means at this point. You're going to have 6 days off. Some people wouldn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have to find out as we go. And in this league, you can never tell. Last year, the top 2 seeds got beat in the first round. I think for the last 2 years that's happened.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes back to how we started the interview. The league is very good. The league is very balanced. There's a lot of parity. As we saw just on this past weekend, teams below you can definitely beat you. So we just have to get back to playing our style of basketball and play at a very high level. Going to the playoffs, if we do that, I think we'll be okay.
And you're on the regional ranking committee for the NCAA again. Just take us through, I believe the first rankings come out on Wednesday of this week. Just where does the region stack up at this point?
The region ranking come out on Tuesday.
On Tuesday.
And because there's not a ranking yet, I'm not allowed to talk about that. So,
okay.
Unfortunately, that's something at this point that's we're all sworn to secrecy. So, at this point, we can't have a discussion until there actually is a ranking.
Okay. At this point, we can say there is, at least 3 teams probably in the PSAC near the top of the region, and obviously a couple other programs as well. West Liberty, I know, has just the 1 loss this year. So, Warriors again putting themselves in a good position for the region and potentially 3 times in 4 years, but obviously some work left to do. So.
No question.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.